Hi everybody, and thanks for joining me today on Best of Both Worlds. Today I am working on a little antique baby quilt. It's one that I bought when I was in Chicago at the quilt market this spring, and I really loved it. You can tell that it's well worn, and now I'm going to turn it into a beautiful little wall hanging and give it a little bit more personality. I hope you like what I do. So let's get started. As you can see, this quilt has been hand quilted, and I just love, after they're worn for a while, look at the texture that's created, and that's just a 1/4 inch hand quilting, 1/4 inch here, and then just some straight lines in these areas. But I'm going to add a little texture and then add personality to each and every Sam or Sue. So, and first thing I'm going to do is do some other lines the other direction, and they're about 1 3/4 inches, although I can tell you that none of these lines were really very even, so I don't have to worry too much about that. The thread I'm using is Superior's Magnifico, which is a variegated thread. It's like an embroidery thread, and it's quite fine, and it is variegated. And you might think that might be a little extreme, but I want this to show up. So I'm going to make sure that it will by putting this variegated thread on it. So I'm just going back and forth, and I will let that hand stitching be the stitching for the other direction. I'm not going to go over those lines at all. I do have my extended base on the machine. And this is actually my favorite ruler, which is the 4x8. You can see how easy it is to just glide the machine across it. Like that, you just guide it. And I'm just kind of eyeballing that to make sure that that's the right distance. Coming back, and it has lines on it, so I'm just using those lines as my guide. And my left hand is doing all the guiding, really. The nice thing about these nice flat rulers is that you can keep your entire hand on the ruler. Looks like I need to go stitch here 2 more. There we go. So that you're nice and flat. You're not holding onto a handle. And it's very difficult to hold onto a handle. And some of these quilts that you are stitching all day long, you don't want to be holding onto a handle, because you know what happens to your fingers when you do that. Now it looks like I can do 1 more line, so I'm just eyeballing the distance here and here and go right in the middle of that. And that is going to end me right up here. And I'm going to just stitch up to that. Now I'm going to use some of these lines on the hand stitching are not there anymore, but I can see where they were. And so I will begin and show you. I'm just going back and forth from seam to seam in this square or semi-square. And I'll go right through that intersection and right down into the next section and continue all the way down to the end. And I'll do this in every other one, so I will have a checkerboard effect. When I chose this variegated thread, I just picked out some of the colors that were on the clothes of the little Bonnet, Sue, and Sam, and then chose the thread that had many of those colors in it. I think I'm going to be really happy with that. You can see how it stands out from the color of the background, which probably might have been a light blue, but it's not anymore. It's been washed so many times. I'm making sure that I am staying horizontal on the quilt, because that seems to be the easiest way to do it. Now I can stitch up this seam, just follow that seam like that, up into the next square. So you see I just skip over like that. And I'm not doing these really, really heavy quilting in here. This quilt doesn't need heavy, heavy quilting. So there we go, and then you'll be able to see what that looks like when we're finished. Just have these two left. And on this one and the next one, I have to remember some of the stitching is gone, so I have to imagine where it is, or you could mark it with chalk or something that you like to use to mark. There we go, and I'm just going to stitch and ditch a little bit there to complete my stitching. So this is going to give it a checkerboard effect, and when it is not on the machine, you'll really see how that just pops out. Maybe you could even play checkers on there. My drawings are terrible, but my husband says you should see the drawings. This is just kind of to give me an idea of what I'm doing. I'm going to do a little school days, the little braid coming behind her and decorate her. None of these are quilted on the clothes, so I want to do a little quilting on the clothes. This little Sam is Good Day Sunshine, and I love feathers, and kind of decorate her up a little bit. The quilt show, they're standing in line. We'll see how that one turns out, trying to do perspective here. And Gone Fishing, of course. We have to have a little fishing one. And then Good Night Moon. And I think the words are going to help bring the personality into the quilt as well. Okay, first of all, I'm putting a little feather on her hat, like this. And that is so cute. I think I'll go up and put it on the other side. I love it. Follow this back down and come out here. I do want to put a bow out here. So we have a bow, and that will also fill in some of this space with a ribbon. Now when you do a ribbon, remember that you come out with a curvy line, and then you come out and swing out on the heel side of that ribbon. So there's a valley on the ribbon, and then there's a heel side. So you swing out on the heel side. Now on the braid, I just thought I'd do kind of maybe something like this as we come down. I don't know how to do a braid. I mean, I know how to do it in hair, and then I'm just gonna come out here like this is hair. You're seeing this for the first time too, okay? And then a bow down here at the bottom. So that's kind of her hair coming down. And while we're here, I'm just gonna jump over to the dress real quick. And I'm going to come across like this and come down and come back across like this. And I think we could also put a feather in here. Now in the middle of this, I will change direction, just right now, by doing a little heart right here. And then these feathers will go this direction. These are like half of a heart laying down. You can all do that. Maybe one more line over there just to make kind of a little parallel line. And then I want to come up, and I'm just going to scoot over here and outline this arm. because it was not quilted on the back at all. So I really like that. Maybe we should put some flowers in her hand. Let's do it. So these are just very little simple daisies. She's taking some flowers to her teacher. Some leaves as I come down. There, that looks more realistic already. I know one of the things that the Statler does well is the lettering, but I'm not using that on this. I'm just going to do it freehand. So those of you that don't have computerized yet, you can do this just like I'm doing it. SC, we got to make sure we spell right. O-O-L. There we go. And then I'm just going to come down here. I'll cut all these threads in between. School days. Oh, they don't write anymore, do they? They just print. Well, this is writing. There we go. Now I'm just putting ABC on here to the best of my ability. There we go. And a C. A C is easy. And I'm putting in the 1, 2, 3. Awesome, I'm happy with that. When you drag your thread from one thing to the next, you just have to remember that you must go back on the back of the quilt as well and trim all those threads off. And make sure that you've secured your thread so that it won't come out from one place to the next. I went ahead and put the words on. Good day, sunshine. I'm going to put a little belt on. I think I'm going to come up and put some suspenders on at the same time. This variegated thread is just blending into everything. It's awesome. Okay, that helps. Maybe a belt buckle, huh? We'll make a little Greek key in there, which is just go back and forth and around it, just to make it look like a buckle. There we go. And I need some ground down here so I know where he's standing. And I think I'm going to start it about over here. I'm going to go into constant so I can really lay down a little bit more thread, like this. If I get over close to the foot, I'll just outline it. I need to be the same inside I'm not going to get really close to the sunshine, I hope. There we go. So I don't want to mess that up. Originally, I hadn't had the sunshine along the side like that, but it's such a long name, and it just worked out to put it along the side, and I think that makes it even more interesting. So, keeping these horizontal, same direction that we were there. I'm going to start with my sunshine and just kind of come up here like this. And then using my ruler, I'm going to make some rays coming down. These are diagonal. I'm going to have to move my clamp because I'm hitting on my thing. These are diagonal lines, and so they're kind of hard to do straight. I can do some like that. Taking some sunshine here and get back up to the sun. And then we'll come down here. What I was thinking was when I get to the words, I'll just kind of go around them. Come all the way down. There. I like that. I need to get down more into the good day here. So I'm going to start right here, and that will get me in through there. So I can come all the way down with the rays. We'll see how we like that. I may have to pick out one thing right there. But otherwise, I think that's the effect that I wanted on that block. And it's a happy block. Well, we got a great start on this quilt today. Be sure to join me next time and we will finish up Sunbonnet Sue and Sunbonnet Sam. Thank you for joining me. Bye.